everyone. I just got home from work and this is actually the roof of my house. So I just came home and I didn't expect to be welcomed by such beautiful weather. I mean, just look at the clouds. Everything is like just so beautiful. It feels so nourishing, so soothing, right? And I'm like just celebrating God's goodness. So there are some things that I had in my heart and that I felt I should share. Let me just pause the video maybe. Okay, so that wasn't the best background, so I thought, okay, I should just let my camera be at rest. You see, I'm not a vlogger, so holding camera on my hand doesn't really make sense to me. I think it should go like this, right? So this is the landscape now. So anyway, you see the cloud behind me, and isn't it so breathtaking and so beautiful? Sometimes I just be looking up at the sun. Let me just give you a quick glimpse or a quick view. So there it is. Not very clear. Okay, you can see the shadow. Yeah, just a shadow, but yes. So I just think about how God has created everything so marvelous and so beautiful. Like He's not at all mistaken in what He has done. I remember the past week. So we live in India. It's a tropical country, tropical weather, and it does get a pretty humid at times. But I was just thinking about how God is still wise, even when it gets hot or cold. God is still wise, and He's not mistaken in what He is doing, right? So I was thinking about it, and I was just hoping and praying in my heart for rain the other day. And to my surprise, the whole week was pretty hot. And as the week was coming to the end, towards the very end, it got pretty windy, soft and windy, just like today. And the weekend, we received rain and God sent us rain. And I was just thinking how God is so good, so merciful, so thoughtful, and He's so gracious. I think about we humans and how we are going to live for almost maybe 60 to 90, not more than 100 years of age. And yet, even if our days on earth are just numbered, it's, I would say, it's not a very long time here on this earth, but yet God is so precise and very thoughtful in what He's doing. Like He takes care of the minute of all detail. So I was just going through this particular person who's supposedly a scientist, I believe, and he, I think they just yes. So they just, what to say? I don't know how to put it to word. So they gave birth to a child actually, and I don't know if this is the most respectful way to say it, you see, but yeah, anyway. So their little son, he cried for the first time, and the father could not wait but collect those tears in a jar, and he took I believe the earbuds, and he put it under the microscope to see how does it crystallize. And he saw that the tears, because our tears is a component of water and salt, correct me if I'm mistaken, and he saw that as the air got in, the tears were just it was just getting a little solidified, and also it was crystallizing. And he said that he couldn't believe, he those are his words, he said he couldn't believe that the deepest pain, or we don't cry because we're happy, we cry because we're sad. So he for the first time experienced beauty in suffering. That's how he added, because who would have thought that even the tears are beautiful? So the same as, with the snowflakes, I know a lot of you must have already done the research on it, but just look at the snowflakes, how it's so beautiful. And sometimes I just look at the tiny little fruits such as guava. I don't know what you call it in your country, we call it guava in India, or passion fruit, the tiny little seeds, so significant. I mean, they're so beautiful. They're just placed in the right order. And even the sun, it is just placed in the right order. And I'm like just celebrating God's beauty and how gracious, how kind, and how good He is, and giving us everything in its due season. I mean, Just look at the cloud behind me. Does it not look like a painting? I can't take my eyes off it. I mean, I can see myself in this camera, and I want to look at is this beautiful cloud, right? It's so beautiful. Not even the best of the best artists or the greatest scientists of all can ever duplicate what God has made, right? Of course, we can try to do something, but we can never match what God is doing. So he's so amazing. He's so wise. So I want to speak to you, dearest brothers and sisters. I know that walking as a Christian is not always as beautiful. It's not like sleeping on the bed of roses. We have to go through a lot of time. I mean, recently, I wouldn't name who, but a very beloved sister of mine, the messages that I have been sending her make me feel like, am I the John Baptist in her life? You got it. You got what I mean. And I haven't really receiving replies from her, and she's my sibling actually. And I really hope that she would see the things as I see it. But anyway, walking as a Christian is not always as beautiful, right? But you see, God is wise in what He is doing, and isn't it an honor for us to be dishonored for God? You see, we don't have to be very fragile. You know, a lot of times I see my culture, our people, especially people of our generation, the Gen Zs, pretty fragile. I mean, we cannot even say a word. It's I mean, it's surprising to see where our world is going, and truly the Bible says that in the last days people would come who are lover of themselves, right? Very sadly, beloved brothers and sisters, you know, but if we love ourselves too much, I mean, we of course got to take care of ourselves because God has entrusted our body to us. But this does not mean that we would become lovers of self, right? If we love ourselves too much, we we don't even want to go to do the extraordinary. You see, we have to come out from that. And so I want to encourage you, wherever you are, even though it looks hard right there, let me tell you what. Laughters can never teach you what sorrow can teach you, right? And matter of fact, whoever I am, I believe this is the same roof. You know, each time I would be racially discriminated or just abused by certain people, wouldn't mention them. I always had this habit. I knew that I didn't have anyone. Now, I'm not trying to say that, all right, I'm such a wonderful person, I go to God. Nothing as such, please don't get me wrong. But I always knew that I don't have anyone else but Jesus. And I knew that He's the only one who's not going to make fun of me if I share to Him my deepest pain, right? And I would come to this group. I'll pray and I'll talk to Him. Honestly, initially, it felt like he wasn't listening to me. Sometimes it even felt as though, does he even exist, right? And I was 10 years old at that time, and it felt pretty empty. But look at me today, right? It is God who brought me up from all that, and He's using my struggling as my launching pad. Everything that I thought was my struggle, He's using as my launching pad. And today people know me because of my testimony, and there would not have been a testimony without the testing, right? So God is amazing. He's not mistaken in what He's doing in yours and my life. So let's just have the thankful attitude, be it raining, be it sunshine, you know. Let's just have this attitude of being thankful, because as I read the Bible, I learned that the one thing that truly makes the Father happy or gets Him smiling is surely a heart that is thankful, a heart that is gratitude, you know. It's very important, because our walk with God, He is a real person. I'm sorry when I said the thing like, does He even exist? I don't mean to say anything as such, but I'm just trying to share my heart out, and that's how I felt. But I was wrong. And here I am enjoying relationship with Jesus, 13 years down the line with Jesus. I'm better, I'm smiling, I'm glowing, I'm happy, and I could never be happier. And I'm at this point where I feel like none of the things of the world would shake me or make me change my mind about Him. Like, I don't care about anything anymore, because nobody would stand for me, and the world will never come for me when I need it, except for the one and only who died for me on the cross. So I'm ready to give up on all of it for Him, right? If it would help me achieve Him, let it all go. Jesus is amazing. Jesus is beautiful. Anyway, I'm so thankful. I just had a little thing to say in my heart. I just wanted to share it out so we can all be happy together. I wanted you also to experience the same joy that I'm experiencing right now. Thank you very much for taking time out and listening to me. God bless you all. Thank you again. Have a blessed day or blessed hours ahead. Thank you.